Dick Tracy, issue number 1 from Mad Cave Comics. Oh man, Dick Tracy, that takes me back. I used to watch the Dick Tracy show back when I was a kid. Obviously, I'm not old enough to have watched that show when it was actually on TV, but I believe it was my grandfather used to collect the VHS tapes of it, and I used to watch it all the time. I used to love Dick Tracy. I had the Dick Tracy show on VHS, the live action, and then of course the Looney Tunes parodies and stuff like that. So this series, it's not quite an origin story, but it is a story featuring Dick Tracy before he comes across his famous rogue gallery. So the police are kind of aware of Dick Tracy. He's like this big up and coming hotshot, and he's already got the yellow coat and all that stuff. But none of like the big villains, like Flat Top, for example, are aware of who Dick Tracy is. So this is kind of like early-ish in his career, somewhat. And we start off at a diner called the Green Eye, where we have two people having a meeting. One is Marsh, who is a crime reporter for the ambitious City Tribune, and the other one is Trueheart. And Trueheart is the city alderman. For anyone who's not familiar with what an alderman is, it's kind of a high position, kind of council member, somewhat. Basically, they're kind of like second in line to the mayor. So he's got a pretty important spot in the political scene when it comes to this city. And he basically has a guilty conscience. He's trying to kind of go over all this like hidden crime that's going on that he's been a part of, or that he was kind of like keeping under wraps. And I guess he's just, the guilt has gone to him, so he wants to bust it all out, be a whistleblower. Unfortunately for him, Flat Top and his men show up and gun the entire diner down. So Marsh and Trueheart are murdered along with everyone else in the diner. And yeah, I like the fact that this comic does not hold back on the violence. We see everyone just getting shot to hell, and then just a bunch of dead bodies and blood everywhere and stuff. And we have some beat cops showing up, and they're just kind of like wondering what the hell went down. And that's when Dick Tracy shows up, and Dick Tracy kind of shows his smarts in the sense that he's like, well, these two guys right here, Marsh and Truehearts, they're completely riddled with bullets. Everybody else, it seems like they've been shot because they were in the crosshairs. But these guys, especially, like, they're the ones that have extra bullets in them. Whoever came here came to kill just these two guys, because none of the money from the cash register was taken. It looks like the place was barricaded from the inside, which means that as soon as the gangsters showed up, barricaded the door so that they can kill who they needed to kill. So yeah, Marsh and Trueheart were the targets. Now the question is, why? And that's when they hear a commotion outside. And this is Tess, and she is the daughter of Trueheart. And she wants to figure out like what the hell happened, who killed her father. And Dick's like, well, I think I'm going to find a very valuable ally in this lady. And we get a little bit of like Dick Tracy and his the way he does things, in the sense like his beliefs as a cop. Like he's talking to the chief, and he basically explains that even in darkness there's hope. Someone came to the Green Eye to kill Marsh and Truehearts. I tend to find out why, and I tend to stop them for good if I have to. You know all about me, Chief. Like, it's not about the accolades. It's not about the newspaper clippings. It's not about the fame, the fortune, any of that stuff. It's just I can't sit back on this. A line has to be drawn somewhere. So to Dick Tracy, it's not about fame, fortune. It's about doing what's right. It's about protecting the city and stopping evil. We see Tess, and she sneaks into her father's office where she's like going through his book, his diary. And all she gets is that a little note that says, meet Marsh, get to Mumbles. She's like, what the hell is a mumble? That's when two guys show up, and they basically have shady intentions towards her, but she's able to stab them and make an escape and eventually get to Dick Tracy. Tracy explains that Mumbles isn't a place, it's a person. And Mumbles has very loose lips, and he's very familiar with the underground crime scene. So if your father had anything to do with him, we should probably go question him, because he's like the best information person that we can get right now. Yeah, basically they go and they find Mumbles. They grab him. They're about to take him out when a car pulls up, and Flat Top shows up with a Tommy gun, and he's going to mow them down. And I'm going to stop it right here. I don't want to spoil everything for this issue. I want to leave some things for you guys to figure out on your own, because I do recommend this issue. I thought this was awesome. I loved it. Yeah, it's just like the artwork's pretty good. It's not that bad, especially for a very, I'm gonna say very small independent company publisher, because I've never heard of Mad Cave before, but I don't know, maybe that's just on my end. With that said, I thought the artwork for a very small comic publisher was pretty good. I like the gritty tone for this. I think it captures the Dick Tracy feel, only for a more mature audience, which I'm not very much used to, because the Dick Tracy stuff I used to watch was geared towards kids. But I like this. I like the fact that they're going with like a somewhat gritty, but still kind of keeping the same Dick Tracy kind of tone and stuff. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints. Like the story is interesting. We got two guys, one a crime reporter, the other one a city council member, second in line to the mayor, who gets gunned down. Why are they going after him? Like, what was he involved in? And I think this does like a nice job of introducing like some of these characters, like introducing who Mumbles is, introducing who Flaptop is, introducing who Flaptop's boss is, which I'm not going to spoil. Yeah, I thought this was like really good for someone out there who that's never watched any Dick Tracy stuff or has no idea like what Dick Tracy is all about. This is definitely an issue that you can jump right in. You won't get lost in it. It explains everything that you need to know to follow the story, which, you know, is great for any newbies out there. Yeah, I don't know how much more I can talk this up. This was awesome. I really, really enjoyed this, and I highly recommend checking it out. So there you go. There's Dick Tracy, issue number 1 by Mad Cave. I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.